Paul Craig and Volkan Oezdemir in the light heavyweight division for UFC London, England, with Curtis Blades, Tom Aspinall, Darren Till, Jack Hermanson, fellow light heavyweights Nikita Krylov and Alexander Gustafsson, Muhammad Mokaev, Charles Johnson, and a few women's fights on the prelims. But this is going to be a good fight. You wouldn't really think of it like Paul Craig. You would think of him as the younger fighter because he's just now bringing himself up to the UFC light heavyweight division rankings, building his name in the light heavyweight division. You would think Paul Craig would be like 30 years old, 31 years old, but surprisingly, he is actually going to be the older fighter than Volkan Oezdemir. Volkan is only 32, almost 33 years old. Paul Craig, 34 and a half years old. He's taller and he is lengthier. Obviously, he's also going to have the jiu-jitsu advantage. Tapology predictions going Craig mainly to win the fight by a submission. Oezdemir mainly to win the fight by a knockout. And that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. If Paul Craig's going to win, it's going to be on the ground. It's going to be like the rear naked triangle. The TKO win he got on Paul Craig. The arm injury that he got on Jamal Hill. And that submission he got on Nikita Krylov. It's going to have to be on the ground. The triangles and arm bars and guillotines and rear nakeds, everything to do with the ground game for this man is absolutely amazing. And the only way he's going to lose this fight is if guys like Tyson Pedro, Khalil Roundtree, Alonzo Menifield do what they did in their fight and just defend the takedowns, keep the fight on the feet, throw bombs, and catch the chin of Paul Craig and knock him out in the first or second rounds. It's hard to pick. It's very, very hard to pick because it only takes one little slip up from Volkan Oezdemir and Paul Craig wins the fight. One small little slip up and Volkan loses this fight. But Volkan isn't one of those guys that gets submitted very, very often. He got submitted early on, 7, 8, maybe even 9 years ago against Kelly Knudsen right there by a neck crank submission. And then he got submitted by a rear naked against Anthony Smith in their fight. But other than that, he does a very good job of defending the takedowns, keeping the fight on the feet, and outstriking his opponents to either a very close decision like he did against Alexander Rakic, or knocking them out. Misha Sirgunov, Jimmy Manawa in 22 seconds, and then a 4-minute, 31-second win in the second round on Alir Latifi. I know a lot of you guys are getting on the hype train of Paul Craig. You guys think he's going to get the fight to the ground some way or another and submit Volkan Oezdemir. But again, the way he was able to get the fight to the ground against Jamal Hill, he kind of just pulled guard, and then Jamal Hill was stuck there. Volkan's not going to fall for that trap. If Paul Craig pulls guard, Volkan's going to start running away, and he's going to get out of everything to do with the guard game of Paul Craig against Nikita Krylov. Nikita literally wanted the fight to go to the ground. He literally attempted a takedown on Paul Craig, which I thought was absolutely stupid for Nikita Krylov to do. Volkan is a much smarter opponent, losing to the top 5 guys in the light heavyweight division recently. Dominic Reyes, Yuri Prohashka, Ankalaev beating Alexander Rakic. He's a very legit guy in this division. And he's a smart guy. He's got a lot of experience fighting the best of the best. He knows not to fall for the traps of Paul Craig. He's going to keep the fight on the feet. And I was originally thinking a knockout win for Volkan Oezdemir, but Volkan hasn't really been that finisher for a long time. It's been 3 years since the last time he really got that finish. I think there's a good chance he gets a knockout. I might change my prediction in the next few weeks or so, but I got Oezdemir by decision here. I think Paul Craig is going to do everything he can to kind of do the Charles Oliveira method, where if he does get hurt, if he does get rocked and things like that, he kind of just lay on the ground after he gets rocked and just hold the guard. I mean, that's what Oliveira has been doing against guys like Gaethje, against Dustin Poirier, against pretty much everyone he's been fighting. When he does get rocked, he just plays guard. He literally just plays guard, and his opponents are just like waiting for the fight to get back up to the feet, and that is where Paul Craig will have times to clear the cobwebs and get back into it. So that is the reason I do have the fight going to a decision, is because Paul, being the jiu-jitsu ace that he is, if he ever gets hurt, pull guard, and Oezdemir is just going to wait a little bit. You're going to clear the cobwebs, and the fight will go all the way. So I'm going to go Volkan Oezdemir by a decision right there. Really good fight in the light heavyweight division.